Stay tuned now for Ike Engelbaum with the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for sharing the morning. I'm Bob Allison. Rob and I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
ZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. Your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights. WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500.
Welcome to the Bright Side of Aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
Do you know someone who needs to see a dentist but is homebound? Dr. Mansour's Portable Dental Services provides dental treatment in the comfort of a person's home. Portable Dental Services administers all aspects of dental care. To make an appointment, call 586-873-5567. That's Portable Dental Services, 586-873-5567. Portable Dental Services, making smiles at home.
And welcome. And although the program is titled Bright Side of Aging, unfortunately, there are situations in life that are not so bright, and that's with passing on and death. And I am so excited about having two terrific professionals in studio with me today, Dr. Joseph Krakoff and artist Dr. Michelle Cider. Just like apple cider, except she is also involved in art, so she's covering the waterfront, so to speak. I can't help but think of some of the remarks that have been made at eulogies, and one that stands out in my mind is that in a way it is really a celebration of someone's life. And there's a saying that don't cry over what happened, but smile that you had the opportunity to participate. And the book is titled Never Long Enough, Finding Comfort and Hope Amidst Grief and Loss. Dr. Krakoff, Rabbi Krakoff is involved now with hospice program. He's an all-around type rabbi. In fact, I believe, Dr. Rabbi Krakoff, I think you like to be called Rabbi Joey. Is that correct?
That's perfect, Ike.
That's great. And Dr. Cider, I admire you because people always assume that psychologists are these straight-laced people that want to put people in straitjackets. You are an artist as well, is that correct?
That is correct.
Well, you know, I say one of the joys in life, if you want to have a happy life, is figure out something that you have a passion for. And if you can make a career out of it, you have the best of all worlds. You're never really working. You're giving back to the community. And although I know you quite well, Rabbi Krakoff, why don't you give me a little thumbnail sketch about your background?
Sure. Thanks, Ike. I am originally from Los Angeles, California. I grew up there, and then I went to Bucknell University in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, where I decided that I wanted to be a rabbi. And so I began my studies at the University of Judaism in Los Angeles, studied there, earned a master's degree, met my wife, got married, went to Israel for a year, and then 3 years in New York, and then I came to Detroit. And I'm currently working as the senior director of the Jewish Hospice and Chaplaincy Network. We take care of people in hospice, and we also take care of people pre-hospice. So from the minute they are diagnosed with an incurable illness, with a terminal illness, they get us involved, and we bring everything to their door. We do everything we can to keep people out of the hospital and to keep them in their homes, to keep them comfortable, and to treat their pain and their symptoms and manage all of that along with spiritual care.
Yeah, well, I've had the privilege of hearing you many times, and you're a unique individual because usually you think of rabbis as walking around in frocks and just talking about religion, but you love baseball, don't you?
I grew up a huge Dodgers fan in Los Angeles. I become a huge Tigers fan, and I tell people I can balance it because one team is in the American League and one team's in the National League, so there's no conflicts
You're
there.
not discriminating. Well, that's good. That's a perfect role for a rabbi. And you, Dr. Michelle Cider, are an artist. You're an artist and a teacher. Who, according to your bio, reflects extensive studies in the fine arts, as well as you've had a private practice. Do you still practice psychology, or primarily artist stuff?
Currently, I'm working full-time as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a native Detroiter. I've always loved art, been an artist for many, many years, and during my college years, I volunteered at Mott's Children's Hospital and had the opportunity to work with young cancer patients, and I brought painting. I actually brought crayons and paper into the waiting room and worked with the cancer patients and realized it was a very, very powerful tool, and I became very interested in art therapy at that point and became a psychologist. Mm-hmm. And then since then I stopped doing psychology, started teaching art, have done a lot of art therapy through the years, not only with patients but also as a high school art teacher. It was helped a lot of my students express themselves because art is a language and a very expressive language, so I've been using it for many, many years.
Right, this is way out in left field, but I find art and music have one great combination, actually one common note. Yeah, if you're a musician, no matter what language, what ethnicity, you pick up some of the notes and you're there. Likewise with art. There's no verbiage involved. Is that right?
Absolutely. Art is universal. So one of the beautiful things about the book is that people can relate to it on so many different levels, and one of them, obviously, the beautiful words written by Rabbi Krakoff, and the images themselves, though, have a universal appeal. And I worked really hard to also make sure that it covered a lot of, you don't know what somebody's going through. The book is about loss and grief. Who did you lose? What are you going through? Who is the person that's grieving? So trying to find all these different images that captured the emotions, and being very specific, but also general to the emotions that everybody deals with in times of pain and loss. So art is just a beautiful way to not only express that, but the process of making art also is very therapeutic. So there's art therapy, there's music therapy, there's dance therapy, there's a lot of different creative arts therapies that are very powerful.
Well, I've had the privilege of hearing you give sermons, Krakoff, many times. I just wondered, here we are combining art and that's pictures without words. So tell me a little bit as far as the creative process. Your book titled Never Long Enough, and it's subtitled Finding Comfort and Hope Amidst Grief and Loss. And it's my kind of book, like we talked before we got on the air. It's got so many terrific art pieces in there. What was the creative process?
So this is actually based on a poem that I wrote when I was a senior in rabbinical school. So back in 1997, 1998, we were taking a seminar on how to write eulogies and how to bless babies and how to do the bar mitzvah charge. And this is actually something that I did on my own because I was struck by the fact that in the mourning process, people often mean well, but they say things like, when will you be back to normal? When will you be over your mourning? I don't think they mean to be hurtful. I think death is a hard place for people to live, and grieving is a hard place for people to live. And so the thought behind the initial poem, which has now evolved over time, and in working with Dr. Cider, we've sort of evolved the illustrations and the words to the place that it is right now in our book. But the thinking is that no matter how long a person lives, whether it's 20 years or 40 years or 50 years or 90 years, to loved ones, it really is never long enough. We never want to lose someone that we love, someone that we care about. And so the thinking behind this is, how can we come to a place of comfort and hope even when we're in the midst of our mourning, and recognizing that it's not long enough, but we should celebrate that which we had. And even when they're no longer with us, how can we hold on to their memory and make that come alive for us in a meaningful way?
Now, Rabbi Krakoff, you mentioned you're into hospice care, and I just wondered, have you found the book helpful in some of your sessions and with the patients?
So we've been working on this book for over the course of the last 3 years, and so we've had the opportunity over time to really kind of test market it in a lot of venues. I will tell you that among the hospices that I work with, they have bought copies, and the book has only been out for 6 weeks, and we're really blessed that it's doing as well as it is.
Right.
But people have actually purchased these books to have in their different hospice facilities for people, because it's not just about the loss of a loved one, but it's also an opportunity to give people a chance for life review and to talk with loved ones before they die about their life and about those moments that they want to remember and hold on to and really hold close to their hearts.
You know, my mind thinks in different directions. Maybe you can see me professionally after the show, Dr. Cider. but I am fascinated by here you're a psychologist suddenly expressing a lot of your thoughts and strategies by way of these pictures. I visualize. I know, for instance, we're talking about music therapy. There are people like Rodgers and Hammerstein. They're perfect. One wrote the music, the other wrote the words. How about in this particular situation? You're taking the practice and put it into art. Is there a correlation there?
Well, first of all, I love your analogy of the song, because that's how I feel like this book has evolved. I was very struck by the poem itself about loss, and it resonated with me on a personal level. But also, I've had resonated with loss, but also in recognizing in my own experience that art can be very therapeutic. So the creative process of the lyrics and the music really kind of happened in this book, because there was a beautiful poem, and through the course of thinking about it, making some changes, we broke it down into there's actually a cadence to the poem itself. and breaking down the sentences into sometimes just some pages are just a single word, because while it's one word, it can be a very, very deep concept that is brought out and expressed through then the drawing, which can further the emotional impact of it. So like lyrics and then the songwriting with the lyrics that brings out the emotions of the original lyrics. That's kind of how I felt about this book. And as far as tying in psychology and art together, they really aren't that different. So there's a lot in the creative process of understanding other people, delving into emotions. Psychology is certainly delving and helping people express their emotions, express their feelings. And art is a natural medium for expressing one's emotions, and the process itself is very healing. And I used art therapy for many years with my patients to help them express and work through their feelings.
You obviously know what the heck you're doing. I'm very impressed, because when you analyze it, again, way out in left field, you take sentences from the poem and then express it in art. And as I mentioned, it's my kind of book, because the pictures just jump out at you. You could stare at these pictures and sort of repeat the line that's associated with that. And it must give so much peace of mind for someone. I mean, I see this almost as a universal book. Maybe, Rabbi Krakoff, you could become the encyclopedia in terms of treating people when they've had death and loss. And I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I didn't count the number of pages, but it's not a big book. And how much does the book sell for? It's over, is it on Amazon?
It's available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. The book has a paperback version and a premium hardcover edition. The paperback version is $19.95, and the hardback edition, the premium hardback, is $29.95. And what's happening with the hardback is a lot of people are giving them as gifts. They're bringing them to people who have suffered a loss. And as you say, and I want to underscore the fact that this is not a Jewish book or a psychology book, or this is a human book. This is a human book about loss, and it really is about every kind of relationship that we could have, whether with a parent, with a child, with a sibling, with a pet. There's really no limit to how this book can address loss on a universal level.
Right. Staying on theme, since you're a rabbi, as you know, in our tradition, that in Passover, when we have the Cider, we have 4 questions. And one of the questions, why is this night different than all other nights? I want you to think about this, because this is a tough question. Are you ready for a tough question? Yes?
Absolutely. Bring it on.
All right. When we get back from our break, I'd like to ask you, how does this book, Never Long Enough, different than all the other books about grief and dying? Okay, just sit at the edge of your seats, folks. Don't you go away. We'll be right back. If you are diabetic, I am sure you have been warned by your doctor about the circulation problems that may occur, especially in your legs and your feet. That is why Medicare still pays for a free new pair of shoes if you're diabetic. And also, there's a system called neuropathy that may settle in that can be treated by a non-invasive system best described as the anodyne therapy. Call 1-888-489-8980 and find out how your leg circulation could be possibly improved by the anodyne therapy. Anodyne therapy is a non-invasive way of producing warmth in your legs and is applied by a professional and in the convenience of your home or a nearby office. That's 1-888-489-8980. And if you'd like a free brochure on how Medicare can help you as a diabetic patient, many services are available for free. Call 1-888-489-8980.
Do you know someone who needs to see a dentist but is homebound? Dr. Mansour's Portable Dental Services provides dental treatment in the comfort of a person's home. Portable Dental Services administers all aspects of dental care. To make an appointment, call 586-873-5567. That's Portable Dental Services, 586-873-5567. Portable Dental Services, making smiles at home.
And welcome back. And in studio is Rabbi Joseph, or Rabbi Joey, can I say that?
However you say it.
Okay. Krakoff, who's the author, and Dr. Michelle, and you have a middle initial that I neglected. Why? Maybe why Cider? You're the illustrator and psychologist. And I posed the question to you before the break as to how do you feel your book is different than other books on grief. Rabbi Krakoff, what do you say?
I think this book is extremely unique for many reasons. One is it's endorsed by two rabbis, a priest, and the Archbishop of Detroit as a way of saying that this is a book that speaks to religious people and quite honestly not religious people as well. I mean, there's no mention of God in the book, and that's purposeful, recognizing that people all have different beliefs, and we wanted to be sensitive to that. It's unique because it gives you opportunity in the back of the book to actually write your memories and your thoughts about the individual, or the individual themselves who's doing life review, to write their own, how they want to be remembered, to reflect on their legacy. And at the beginning of the book, if it's given as a gift, there's an opportunity to present it to someone and actually to write their name in and write a message to them. And so those are just a few of the reasons why it's unique. But Dr. Cider, you want to add to that?
I think that some of the uniqueness of this book is that while it is a short book, and you could go through it very quickly, it's very deep and very profound. So each page has concepts on it, and while they may seem like simple concepts, for example, the idea of when laughing together with a loved one, the memories and bringing that together, you can linger on one page if that's important to you, and then go on. So one of the interesting things about this book is that you can take each page as a whole concept to bring up and start conversations. And there's a lot of opportunities to do that through the book. And also, as Rabbi Krakoff brought up, at the end of the book, we have pages for that.
So you could write notes as well. That's fantastic.
You can. And just to let you know, we're in the process of creating a workbook / coloring book that is based upon this, which gives individuals and therapists and hospice workers and anybody else more opportunities to delve into the ideas and help to start conversations and express themselves around these very profound and important ideas that are brought up in the book.
Well, you got me really excited for two reasons. First of all, it fits the theme of what I try to bring out in terms of life cycles, as to looking at it from a positive perspective. But also, I would love to have you guys speak at some of the seminars that I try to coordinate in the community. So I promote our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. If there's anyone out there that wants to have a seminar and possibly even use the book as a fundraiser, what better way, especially in church settings or spiritual settings, than having a book that has to deal with something that no one, as they say, has ever made it out of life alive, right? So you might as well have it. You know, I tried to highlight some of the great parts of your book as much as I can, but I wondered, Rabbi Krakoff, would you mind reading the introduction of the book? Because I think that really encapsulates what the theme of the book is all about.
Sure, I'd love to, Ike. The intro begins as this: life is precious, irreplaceable, and seems to go by far too quickly. While this book was primarily created to help you find comfort, consolation, and support in the precious recollections you have of your loved one, it can also be used to facilitate conversation around life review. It is our hope that each page will generate a new opportunity for reflection and discussion. The loss of a loved one is painful, poignant, and significant. The relationships we form endure beyond the length of our days. When we lose a dear one to death, it does not have to be the end of our connection to them. They leave behind a treasure of cherished memories that no one can ever take away. In this spirit, we have provided blank pages at the back of this book for personal memories and reflections. When we remember a loved one, their legacy becomes eternal.
Wow, that's fantastic. Have you considered being a rabbi?
I still would like to play baseball, but if that doesn't work out, I could do rabbi.
Right,
I could do rabbi.
Just instead of a baseball cap, you just put on the yarmulke that looks like a baseball cap.
There you go. There you go. I do want to say, back to your previous point, though, is that we actually are available for book signings and for seminars, and we've actually developed seminars, in the process of developing seminars around this book, around issues of hospice, around issues of grief, around issues of art therapy, and helping people, when they're mourning and even at the end of life. So all of those are possibilities. We've got one book signing coming up down the road. It's not fully set, but at a church, one out in Los Angeles, and there are some other communities that have reached out to us already. And so we are available for that and would be open to that.
Oh, that's great. Just call us, 888-489-8980. And with your permission, I might even come and hang on. Because I really like to reach out to the community. And there are so many great organizations that are always looking for something to reach out to their respective membership. And I can't think of anything that doesn't touch the heart literally much more than how do you deal with the inevitable and still have a positive way of looking at it and looking back. And that's wonderful. And I just wondered, this may be way out, Dr. Cider, but I like to put people way out. Did you learn something for yourself in preparing the art? I mean, did you have like an aha moment? Wow, this really means that.
Well, the topic obviously resonated with me. When we first started the book, I looked at a number of Rabbi Krakoff's poems, and this one particularly resonated. And in the process of, because of my own life experiences and some of my losses, and in the process of contemplating each idea and creating an image that I was hoping would perfectly express that idea, it was comforting to me. And it was helpful to me not only in creating the image itself, but finding just the right image to hopefully bring out these issues. And it was very gratifying. But also it helped me through my own processes of my own, of loss that I've dealt with in my own life while I was creating the art myself. Right, so I know it's a powerful tool.
It's interesting because I don't have to tell you, I'm a pharmacist, so I sort of know about the different reasons healthcare professionals choose a career path. But it has been said that many times psychologists and psychiatrists go into that field to find out how they themselves tick. Is that correct?
That is true, and that works for many people. I for a very long time have felt very good about having some God-given abilities to be able to help others, and that is really a beautiful thing and a wonderful thing. And I feel like, I go through life feeling like God gave me certain abilities, and it's my job to make the world a better place with it. So that I use my art, I use my therapy in the psychology background to help other people.
Wow, I'd love to talk to you for hours, but I only have about a minute left, and it's been a delight to have you on, Rabbi Krakoff and Dr. Cider, and we'll definitely book you, all right? Right now, I like to leave this segment with one of my favorite thoughts, which is, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking in life with the bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other and achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, entrepreneursnetworkofmichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? What do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now.
Do you know someone who needs to see a dentist but is homebound? Dr. Mansour's Portable Dental Services provides dental treatment in the comfort of a person's home. Portable Dental Services administers all aspects of dental care. To make an appointment, call 586-873-5567. That's Portable Dental Services, 586-873-5567. Portable Dental Services, making smiles at home.
Hey, and welcome, and hopefully you're enjoying the interesting weather we're having. No matter what time of the year, it seems like Michigan has it all usually in one day. But as an entrepreneur, which is the title of our show and theme, you deal with life as it comes along in a positive way. And if you are a budding entrepreneur or having difficulty spelling the word entrepreneur, whatever, whether you want to build or start your own business, we are your group. I'm really proud of having put the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan into existence about 40 years ago. And I think back, that means I've had the opportunity to meet over 20,000 people that have either wanted to start or build their business. And if you are interested, every Thursday morning, and including tomorrow morning from 9:15 to 10:30, it's free. We give you free donuts, free coffee, and phenomenal free conversation and ideas at the Level 1 Bank, which is at 37100 Woodward in Bloomfield Hills, southeast corner of Big Beaver and Woodward. And if you have some friends of yours who say over your travels, hey, I'm unhappy about my job. And by the way, the acronym for job, if you break down the verbiage, stands for just over broke. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have a job that gives you some additional income, then by all means, and you're happy with it, stay there. But the truth is, we're finding now that you change career paths now in our lifetime more so than ever of our predecessors. Used to be when you graduated school, or if you didn't go to school, or in those days with the auto industry, where just being able to put car parts together, you could make a nice living. That ain't around anymore. And what I try to do in this program is sort of spark your brain cells to think in a way where you indeed can be your own boss. So by all means, check us out on our webpage, enomichigan.com, or Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, or the toll-free number that I give out frequently. Call me at 888-489-8980. We work with the Small Business Administration quite closely. They've got a lot of sources of starting your financial life. There's a program called Seed, CEED, where they can actually help you financially, and also ongoing mentoring. But we don't charge you for showing up and checking us out, so come on out. Thursday morning, 9:15 to 10:30. We'd love to have you. We do like to have you call in advance so that we know that you are coming, or you can log on to, since we work with Meetup, you log on to meetup.com/ENO Michigan, and there is no reason why you can't figure out a way to tie the networking concept into your entrepreneurial career. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they want to start a business is that they figure, hey, I pretty well know what I want to do. They want to do everything on their own. It ain't necessarily so. One of our new members in the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan that I'm really excited about having in studio is Leia Jackson. She's a financial service rep for Western and Southern Financial Group in Livonia, Michigan. She graduated Siena Heights University in Adrian, Michigan, in Public Service Administration. Her background in community service with inner city youth through ARC Ambassadors of Kalamazoo. And her background has also been involved in correctional services, directing the food service operations, and included profit and loss managing, budgeting, event planning, and other administrative duties. Wow, Leia Jackson, you must be tired after all of that, are you? You are. Okay, well, I am really impressed with your background, and you are following a path that I always describe to entrepreneurs. Hey, here you graduate in public service administration, you get involved in correctional services, food-wise. Now you are with Western and Southern Life. What prompted the switch?
Well, for a number of reasons, but the nice ones are that being in the correctional field was eventful, and it was definitely unique. But while I enjoy different aspects of that, I also more appreciated being able to step outside of work without having to go through bars, or without having to guard myself of who I'm around regarding my family, things of that nature. What attracted me to Western and Southern is because of being able to help not only others that are in need, but those who may not know they have a need for it. Securing for that what if I have a business that is going to be successful and I'm working towards it, hey, it's equally important to protect it as well. And here I am.
Well, I'm glad you're here because, and I'm also glad that you joined up as a member of the Entrepreneurs Network group. We only charge $1 a day, so if you're serious about really developing a career path, we don't charge you in the first couple of meetings. We operate, as I like to joke about, in the Costco formula. You check us out for free, and if you like the product or service, by all means, join up with us. I mean, I've heard about Western life, and also it's some of the aspects to it. But can you describe what do you do?
Well, what I do is I help individuals and families financially prepare for their future in the most tax-advantaged way. And the way I do that is by a process of gathering information from the potential client, and it would be calculated into sophisticated software where I'm able to provide a financial analysis report, complimentary service, and from this report we'll see any deficiencies and implement a solution that makes sense.
So, in other words, as they say in the medical field, before you walk into that doctor's office, they give you a bunch of forms so that they can do an assessment of your situation. You've taken that same concept and put it into what your financial services can do for them. Is that correct?
That is correct. I never would want, liking it to your illustration of a doctor's office. I'm not going to tell you what you should have, and I don't know anything about you. I want to make sure that what we provide to you is accurate and most beneficial to your financial situation and your goals.
Yeah, well, since I brought up doctor, it's my fault, I guess, that I think of my own stuff. And the story goes about the patient goes to the doctor, and the doctor asks the patient, doctor asks the patient, how are you? He says, that's why I'm here, doc. How am I? So when someone walks in, you give them the, as Sergeant Friday on Dragnet program used to say, just the facts, this is where you're at.
Right.
Is that how the process goes?
That's how the process primarily goes, yeah. All information as accurate as possible. Nobody's going to be perfect, but as accurate as possible, because the more information you give me, it's going to benefit you. And the most accurate is the best.
Right. Not to belabor the medical aspect, but there are a lot of patients that come and they're embarrassed to give certain symptoms that they have because they figure, he's going to think that I'm really in need of psychiatric help or something. You have to be open. You have to be realistic about it.
Right.
So as far as if someone is interested, is there a phone number that you'd like to give out so that they can at least get an initial start?
Absolutely. My phone number is 248-621-3767, and that is my direct line, and my office number is 734-469-9511.
And that's the direct line again is 248-621-3767. And of course we have our safety net toll-free number 888-489-8980, and I can always put you in touch. Or better yet, you can actually come to see Miss Leia Jackson in person And tomorrow morning, 9:15 to 10:30, and you can get an understanding of what she does in person at no additional charge. And we're going to even throw in free donuts and coffee. We don't twist arms. You're going to meet a lot of other interesting entrepreneurs, and we take a portion of it after you've introduced yourself to discuss business ideas, strategies, and if you started a business and you're not quite happy as to how it goes, join us tomorrow or every Thursday morning, 9:15 to 10:30, right at Big Beaver and Woodward in Bloomfield Hills. Right now, I'd like you to join us and listen to a message from a couple of our sponsors, and we'll be right back and give you some more information that can make, hopefully, your financial life a lot happier than it is right now. So don't you go away. We're going to be right back.
If you're one of those folks who needs a helping hand, like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or help you pay your bills, run your errands, laundry pickup and delivery, maybe somebody to help you with bathing and grooming or in-home hair cutting and styling, you can't get out and you need medical help, maybe a doctor, a dentist, a nurse, a podiatrist, you name it, or prescription delivery, House Calls on Wheels is the answer. They provide both non-medical and medical services in your home. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour if you're using any of the medical services, and all of the medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. Call House Calls on Wheels for further information. It's a toll-free number, 1-888-489-8980. That's House Calls on Wheels, 1-888-489-8980.
Do you know someone who needs to see a dentist but is homebound? Dr. Mansour's Portable Dental Services provides dental treatment in the comfort of a person's home. Portable Dental Services administers all aspects of dental care. To make an appointment, call 586-873-5567. That's Portable Dental Services, 586-873-5567. Portable Dental Services, making smiles at home.
And we're back, and please write down on your calendar, if you can't make it tomorrow morning to the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, breakfast, free donuts, coffee from 9:15 to 10:30. Join us on the next Thursday. We purposely try to keep it on the same day as well as the same location. Unless there's a bank holiday, we meet because we're inside a bank, Level 1 Bank, in fact, 37100 Woodward, which is at the southeast corner of Big Beaver and Woodward in Bloomfield Hills. We have really a lot of interesting people. And remember that movie where McGuire says, "Show me the money"? Well, come to Level 1 Bank and we'll show you the money. You have to work out your own strategy as to how to get some of that money, but we can certainly help you generate income. And one of our new members is in studio with me, Leia Jackson, who's referred to as a financial representative. And we were talking about before the break that she's had a rather diverse background, but because she has a passion to help people, she found that by teaming up and becoming a representative for Western and Southern Life, that she could actually provide services to people. And I just wondered if you could give us sort of a thumbnail sketch as to how can you help people out there not only in life insurance, but you have some other services available for them as well. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to life insurance, I also can help people with their disability income, annuities, different Medicare gaps insurance that are available as well. There are a number of other options that are in there, but for today's purposes, yes, life insurance.
So now, as far as your decision process, you chose a financial path, even though in the background you were involved with correctional services. You graduated in public service administration, so that's quite diverse. So as far as your decision, why do you do what you do? Is it compassion for people?
It is. As in my personal background, I have seen firsthand what it's like when you're not preparing for the future. And you're preparing for your future, but not exactly protecting it. Where a legacy has already been established, there's have been businesses that have been set up and have thrived wonderfully, but taking care of it and making sure that it is able to thrive beyond that person's lifetime hasn't always been a set in stone thing. Even with my own family, I've seen where you've seen the GoFundMe pages to help us bury our loved one, help us to carry on these services and things of that nature. So it really hit my heartstrings in knowing how many people that need this help that can be beneficial both not only for afterlife care, but while you're living.
Yeah, well, when you hear someone that's selling life insurance, you just automatically assume that it's, and I hate to sound negative, but it's like death insurance, okay?
Right.
And it's not exactly the happiest thought to think about death. I can't help but think of the remark Andy Warhol once when they said, I know I'm going to have to die, I just don't want to be there when it happens, okay? So the truth of it is, you ain't going to be there,
right.
but meanwhile you have a family and all to take care of, and it's really sort of a vague thing when you think about it. Hey, if I can get away with not having to pay bills for life insurance, that's like money I'm saving. You really are not. And I wondered if you could clarify, you always hear about term life and straight life. Can you give us a little background as what the difference is?
Sure. There are two general differences in life insurance. There's your term insurance, and then there's your whole life. Now, there are variations of whole life, but for today's purposes, we're going to keep it simplified. Term insurance, life insurance, is just for that, a certain amount of time, a number of years, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and that's it. There is no cash value in that product, and while it doesn't allow you to have cash value, it does allow you to purchase more coverage at a lower rate. Now, when we're talking about whole life insurance, it does just that. It covers you for your whole life. It carries features that have, some of them may have dividends, and you'll have cash value that you can borrow from, and you can do many different things with that financial tool as well.
Now, tell me, as far as cash value that you can actually borrow against your life insurance policy, can you give us some examples of how that can be used?
In whole life, let's say, for example, you have a $100,000 policy, and while your policy is in force, you also, after your first 2 years, generally, you will also start to gain cash value that works almost like a savings account that will progressively grow as the years go on. Now, if you were to borrow money from that cash value that it's yours to access. When you borrow money from that, you need to keep in mind that while you are able to take it, if you do not pay it back, it will come off of your face value in the event something were to happen to you.
So the best idea, and I've heard advertisements about how you, since it's your money, you don't have to pay interest in its use while you're using it, but it's critical that you give it back. Is that right?
That is correct. And in addition to what you just stated, that when you do borrow that money, how it fits into the wealth building,
right,
is that you can start your own business. You can borrow that money from that life insurance policy and start a business, or put a down payment on your home, or get out of debt, or maybe you want to put it towards your student loans that you have that are just looming over our heads, type of a thing.
Right. Well, the good news and the bad news. The good news is that let's say you want to start a business and you have X amount of dollars in your life insurance. If you start going hemming and hawing to a bank and they what's that old line that they do in banking, is that they'll give you money when you don't need it, okay?
Yes, that is so
but when
correct.
you need it, you practically have to crawl on your knees unless you have a good relationship with the bank. Here you don't have to do anything. The bad news is that if you think it's like because you're not paying any interest that it's free, it ain't free. You gotta give it back, because otherwise you end up having less coverage on your life.
Yep.
So have you found that entrepreneurs use life insurance to build their business?
I have found that people have utilized this tool to their advantage. This is not something that you will want to take lightly and want to abuse for something that's not going to be beneficial long term, whether it's for yourself or for your family. But I have met a number of people that have done just that. Take it to cover expenses or to help for a mortgage, if you will, to pay it off because they want that financial freedom.
Right. Well, this is way out in left field possibly, but I was just thinking that people, aside from not realizing that if they have a life insurance that they have a source of getting a business started, they could possibly use their life insurance to improve their credit score, because it amazes me. I've talked to a few bank managers, and no one seems to know the right answer why some people's credit score keeps fluctuating like it is. It goes up and down, and the truth of it is, the one common denominator is you have a better credit rating if you owe less money. Rather, there's a ratio. There's a certain amount based on your income level that as soon as they see that you're using your credit cards to a point where it's lopsided against the amount of net worth you have, your credit score goes down. And that can be devastating. So at least if you're running into a temporary problem, and again, it's a temporary, take the money out from the life insurance, get your debts cleared up as best possible. In the interim, your credit score will improve so that future transaction would be less. So I would think that's a positive way of
Very
using
much so,
life
very
insurance.
positive, yes.
Right. And actually, there's so much more that you can benefit. And speaking with Leia Jackson, she's available, initial consultation, do an assessment, no strings attached. and there might even be some money attached. Okay, just call our toll-free number 888-489-8980, and we'll put you in touch with Leia. You can see her tomorrow morning and Thursday mornings at the Level 1 Bank. And I hate to leave this segment without my favorite parting thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for